Hello guys, this is Cassie. So I want to share a quick breakdown of a trade I took on currency pair, and that trade was on US oil. So the trade was on the 4 hours time frame, and like I said, my entry model, which was the type 1 liquidity, which was this. That is what you're seeing here. So this was the trade. The trade was about 1:4. The trade was 1:5 RR, but I closed at 1:4. I closed my profit at 1:4. And here was when I shared the trade with my guys, because I shared the trade with my guys also to take. This was when I shared the trade with my guys, and here was the final result of the trade. How we closed out a massive profit. We closed out in 4 RR on the trade. So what was the breakdown behind the trade? Looking at the 4 hours time frame, you can see that the 4 hours time frame was bearish. We had a break of structure to the downside here, and we had another break of structure to the downside here, and we had another break of structure to the downside here. So now if you look at this, you can see that the tendency of this guy going is high, and that was what happened, because here was my final TP. So looking at this, you can see that the trend is bearish on the 4 hours time frame. Now we had this is a high that was swept by let me remove this, by this protected high, and this was my liquidity. This guy here was my liquidity. So even though this liquidity was far, I don't trade things like it, but I waited and used a confirmation entry. I used the candlestick confirmation entry. After this 4 hours candlestick finished forming, that was when I entered the trade. And you can see I entered the trade off market execution. You can see when I shared the trade with my guys, take off market execution after I got my confirmation entry, because I wanted to get more RR and I wanted to milk the market. So let's do a top-down analysis on reasons why I took this trade. Let me remove this. So since I had my entry on the 4 hours time frame, let's quickly go to the monthly time frame, because when I do my analysis, if I have my entry on 4 hours time frame, I use the monthly time frame. So looking at the monthly time frame on US oil, you can see a break of structure here on the internal structure and another break of structure here. This is the internal structure. Now, from what I'm seeing, I see that price took away this high here, liquidated this high, and started breaking structure to the downside. Now, I'm expecting this low to go from what the structure is giving. I'm expecting this low to go, even though last month candlestick printed was signaling a buy. But when it comes to trading, candlestick is not enough. You also need the trend. You want to combine the trend with the candlestick. Is not enough, because this candlestick printed a buy, signal that for this month US oil is meant to buy. But if you let's see the reason why it printed a buy. Coming to this is the 3 months time frame. So coming to the 3 months time frame, you can see that price tapped on this fair value gap, and I think that was the reason price reacted and printed this buy candle. You understand? But then again, now after the monthly time frame, seeing what price is doing on the monthly time frame, we scale down to the weekly time frame. On the weekly time frame, let's see what price is doing. Let's reset the chart and see what price is doing. Very good. So on the weekly time frame, we had a break here. We had a break here, another break here. Then we're expecting this low to go, which is fine. Now, as we are waiting for this low to go, price started doing what? Look at what price started doing. Price started creating another what? Internal structure inside this guy. So price started creating some break to the downside here. Another what? Another break to the downside here. Then another break to the downside. So what are we expecting? We're expecting what? This low to go before this next low go. And that was what we followed. You can see it. Now, scaling down to the what? Daily time frame. Looking at the daily time frame, the trade was taken at this place I placed my rectangle to. You understand? Now, if you look at it, you can see also price started creating what? Another internal structure. Now, price got up to this supply zone, and I had my liquidity what? On the 4 hours. Because price tapped on this fair value gap, and that was why price got up to that liquidity. And what? Look at how we reacted. One, I took this trade in the morning, and okay, it was at night around 9:10, and before 5 p.m. the next day, the trade had hit take profits. And that was how crazy this trade was. You understand? So that was the story behind this particular trade. And on the 4 hours time frame, this was my entry. And you can see when the trade hits take profit, you can see it here. And that was how I and my team ate from this particular trade. So if you want to be seeing more content like this, all you need to do is what? Follow us on Instagram. We're also on TikTok, Trade with Cassie. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel, Trade with Cassie, to see more content like this. Thank you for watching.